Hey Libra, it's your turn. So this is for the first half of September 2019. And we just had a new moon a few days ago, and we're still kind of bathing in that as we go. So that we've had the Virgo new moon. And then we're going toward the um, Pisces full moon. So this is for the first 2 weeks of September and kind of the time in between those two moons. Oh my goodness, one card is in the wrong deck. That in there, little friend. Okay, with that, there's a lot going on astrologically, and I have some astrologers I could recommend if you want more detail, but right now I'm just going to state and use kind of as a framework the fact that during or around the time of that new moon we just had, there was a grand earth trine, or we're still working with those energies, and we're actually going into a stellium of a lot more things in earth signs and in Virgo in particular. But okay, what I'm gonna do is draw a card for you for each part of that earth trine, and then also where you need tenderness, where you have the opportunity for consecration, and where you have the opportunity for exaltation in this little time period we're in, or whenever you're watching this. Okay, so this one is for the sun in Virgo, so all of Virgo season kind of theme for you. This first card, oops, and you have the Chariot, and underneath that, at the bottom of the deck, you also have the Ace of Cups, which I'm seeing the Ace of Cups as kind of a theme card for everyone for the entirety of the month of September, as we are in such astounding astrology, having just gone through so much actually in the last 7 years with just a lot. But as as our heart beats and blood moves through our bodies, are part of an expression and part of the earth. Our bodies, our imaginations, our consciousness, all of this, we are infused with earth, and we are also part of, obviously, the entire universe, and the motion of the universe is the motion of love. Okay, and so there's a lot happening this September, and you are part of it, and things can move quickly now into sort of an integration or revelation or manifestation that you might have hoped for but never thought you could really expect, maybe. Now for Saturn in Capricorn, so where might you build, remake, reaffirm, readjust structures in your life to help you with this sort of grounding and integration of this strong motion you have toward your dreams? And we have at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. So just knowing that, just relying on your own capability, your own creativity, seated in your power, and knowing that you have this magic wand, and knowing that you have this great, all this life around you with the animals and the plants and all, and then the drawing is human imagination, and then your magic, but also your embodiment. These are important structures to care for and to rely upon, and to use. Okay, so they're kind of tools more than structures in a way with your card for Saturn and Capricorn. And then for Uranus and Taurus, which might be more like surprising change, and really a push from the universe to ground this change, right? One astrologer I follow, Barbara Goldsmith, I follow a lot of astrologers, But she had a whole thing about Uranus and Taurus that she put out a couple years ago. And in some ways, I wish I had taken some of her advice a little better, but the universe will get you where you need to go anyway. Just that, like, part of this is changes in the way we deal with money and even the structures of money and power in our world. Okay, you have Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, maybe changes in your career, maybe changes in your attitude toward your wealth or your abundance or your value and the value of your work, the value of your sensibility, the value of your contribution, and frankly, simply your presence. So, you know, this is Libra. I know you're an air sign, sweetie, and you like to be balanced. But you relate to Taurus because you both are ruled by Venus. So it's again coming back to this sense of like structuring love into this. I think of you as very logical and very logical, but also sometimes a little bit too much trying to make sure everyone is okay, sometimes at the expense of yourself too. You're very balanced, but make sure that you bring that into your own embodiment too, that integrated balance of what you need, that you're caring for yourself. Okay, where do you need tenderness? In your thoughts, Keeper of Swords. In the way that you think, you need to give yourself that tenderness, that same tenderness and understanding that perhaps you're used to giving to others and considering for others. You need tenderness in your thinking and in your self-care. Where do you have the opportunity for consecration? So, you always have the opportunity for consecration in every part of your, being with the sacred, being part of the sacred, administering to the sacred and acknowledging the sacred, but at this particular time. And now you have the Queen of Swords, the Keeper of Swords and Queen of Swords. So the sacred nature of your consciousness and thinking, to care for it tenderly, and to rely upon it deeply. You have Queens of Pentacles and Sword and Wands. Queens of Pentacles and Wands. You have a Queen of Swords and Keeper of Swords, and then you have the Chariot, integrating so many things quickly. You are a very quick-witted person, but to also integrate this gentleness, this gentleness. And I'm thinking for yourself, but maybe it's also for others around you, but particularly for yourself, because once you give it to yourself, it's much easier to truly give it to others without depleting yourself. Okay, and then where you have the opportunity for exaltation is again, this is a restfulness, that your thoughts may give you this sanctuary as well. And perhaps this has to do with creativity or creative project, but also just to, as you are tender and conscious of the sacredness of your thoughts, that you also may rest in them and may use them as a sanctuary as well. Okay, we'll check in again soon, dear Libra.